We want to get the best soldier to compete at the next level. Select that. But to do that, we have to create a great product, a better product that's going to enhance and give the full training effect. So as senior NCOs and SMEs of our craft, we just come here and look at the task, execute it ourselves, test it, validate it to make sure that it's going to bring out the best out of the best. When that candidate come in here, they're not just coming to a product that hasn't been tested. We want to make sure that that product flows the right way. We want to make sure it has that realistic essence in it, in a battlefield condition, because that's what the soldier's going to encounter when they go to war. We want to choke at, that's our craft, that's our profession. We want to make sure that that soldier is the best trained soldier going to the next level, showing the craftsmanship of being a soldier. So that's why we got to validate these things. We got to do it ourselves. We got to see if this makes sense, if this is realistic enough, if this fulfills the strenuous challenge that any battlefield will provide to a soldier. And not provide, but challenges they're going to encounter in the battlefield. And then we recreate that, we challenge ourselves, we do it. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And after that, I say, okay, this is going to be a good way forward for the soldier to enhance their ability to overcome the next obstacle. We just don't know what's going to happen in the battlefield. We don't until it happens. Can that soldier overcome that challenge? So it's intense. We are putting the challenge in there so that we select the best soldier, whether it's strength, whether it's mental capacity, whether the tenacity to succeed. They're gonna and they have proven that every time we do this, that one soldier is gonna come up above the rest. We want to squeeze out the best soldier out of this competition. But based as they go out throughout the days, and we and see what they're doing, we kind of get an idea of who put that effort to train prior to arriving. But it's all undetermined, right? We really don't know unless you yourself know that you train, or we saw you training prior to it. But these are very competitive. These are the best soldiers out of each MTF coming to here to compete. It's like the Olympics. They did the pre-trials in the Olympics. They had some records in there. You kind of get an idea. But when the Olympics come in and everybody competes, you'll be surprised who wins and who doesn't, because we got the top elite from each one of them.
Myself and my team from Team 8 went out and validated stress shoot with Sergeant Lopez and Sergeant Martin over there. Essentially, the soldiers are coming from the M4 qualification range. They will cross the paved gravel road, where they will then encounter the cadre.
Well, we just proposed a few recommendations for Sergeant Gills and her team. Number one, stage the candidates out front so they don't get an opportunity to see the weapons beforehand.
Validate combatives in the oral board. I'll talk combatives. Sergeant C and his team, brought us in just like as the competitors. We went through a couple of the instructions, made some modifications there, which they're tracking.
When it's your turn to run a competition, what's that competition going to look like? Safety, right? Talking about it is good. Seeing it actually in action is different, right? Then the other thing is the rite of passage, right? You gotta feel, you and your soldier are gonna feel the stressors of what that candidate is gonna go through. That's why we dress up, we execute, and we move on, right? So that means those lanes gotta be ready to run, right, and execute style, right? So if it's a rifle range, it's gonna be rifle, it's gonna be IOTV or ACH. If it's the pool, it's gonna have all the required equipment. So future events, if it's your turn, you're gonna have those in there in place because the validators are gonna actually jump in and do it, feel the stress, and be able to make a good safety call for those soldiers. Okay? It's also a rite of passage because we're gonna be doing it. If the soldiers are doing it, we're gonna be doing it too. Okay? So keep in mind, if it's your turn or it's your turn to support another organization, know that this is what we do. To get it ready, get the event ready for those soldiers, because the number one thing is safety. You gotta look at safety. Okay? Live rounds, water, you got all walks of life coming in, and you are probably good, you are validated, you have done the stressor, you have jumped into water. I don't know what those other MTF, those other soldiers are in there, what their capabilities are, and they might seem good, but the day of the company, they might choke out, and you just don't.
How much time are you tracking that each on site?
So I'm tracking 2.5 hours the most for 6, because I did the 6 events. So technically, y'all did 7 only because there's 7.
We could say that age might be a factor, which it is. It is. You know, you age, you lose some muscle in there, you lose certain abilities. You know, but that's why they did it. We did it to see what that candidate is gonna feel when they go to those lanes. I don't expect that you're gonna have that one sergeant major now in an older age is gonna do any faster than he did it last year or the next year. So the challenge is still there, but we had to do it. We had to do it to see what that candidate is gonna feel when they're going to it, and see this lane in the entire length gonna make sense. I think every installation has a unique flavor to it. Whether you competed in Fort Carson and elevation was a factor, right? Whether you competed at Fort Bliss and sand and wind. For Riley, I would say the weather, the immediate change of weather. It kind of forecasted but unforecasted. With the winds playing a factor, could be one of them. The environment in the battlefield is going to be different. How do you mentally change your mind to overcome that obstacle is the biggest one. How do you adjust? That's why we changed the environment, because we don't know at the next level where they're going to be competing. And at the next level where they're going to be competing. That's why you got to be ready. You got to look at all the challenges out there that is going to create a mental barrier for you to achieve.